Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to start our program. Can you hear me? Hello? Yeah, if I could whistle, I would, but I can't. So that's a skill I don't possess. I hate to break up all the socializing. It's so great to see everybody here. Volume okay now? Okay. So I wanted to welcome everybody here to the American Council of Engineering Companies of Colorado's Engineering Excellence Award Luncheon. I'm Carlene Thomas, an engineer with Pinion Environmental and immediate past president of ACEC Colorado. I am so excited and thankful to finally be visiting with so many of you in person after the past 19 months, which seems like about 10 years, of digital-only presentation and video calls. So in my presidency last year, I had 0 in-person meetings. So that was a great one. I asked for a do-over, but I'm not sure you get one. I also appreciate those joining via the live stream for today's event and look forward to celebrating the design achievements of Colorado's engineering community. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to thank our corporate sponsors. Diamond sponsors Initial IT, Ken's Print and Graphics, as well as USI Insurance Services, which is represented at today's luncheon by Bob Strine, Alfred Zarlango, and Zach Brewer. Thank you. Our gold sponsors are the Unfound Door, whose principal, Ellie Hemnest, is taking all the great photos today. Also, silver sponsors Professional Employment Group and Relational Advisors, bronze sponsor VOC2, and media partner Colorado Real Estate Journal and Building Dialogue. Let's give them all a round of applause. Next, please join me in thanking these 3 EEA judges who are with us today and who generously donated their time to this year's program. Dewey Brigham, with PhD, who is president and executive director of the Colorado Association of Black Professional Engineers and Scientists. Rachel Johnson, AIA, an architect with Smith Group and current president of the Colorado chapter of the American Institute of Architects. And Jackie Millett, a professional engineer and mayor of the city of Lone Tree, as well as past recipient of ACEC Colorado's General Palmer Award. Also, our 4th judge could not be with us today, but we also appreciate the time of Dave Little, a member of Associated General Contractors of Colorado's Management Committee and Chief Business Development Officer at Gallegos Corporation. Let's give them a round of applause also. I also want to recognize our great ACEC Colorado staff members who helped make today's event possible and who, without all the rest of us, would have no idea what we're doing. Executive Director Marilyn Reamer, Deputy Director Heidi Gordon, Dana Mansell, Director of Finance and Education. I lost her. In the back, okay. And Brenda Walters, our membership concierge. Again, a round of applause. Thank you. We also have several ACEC Colorado current board members here today, including Vice President Gray Clark, Secretary Treasurer Brant Lannert, Denver Metro Director Cara Swanson, and North Area Director Dan Overton. Finally, I want to acknowledge 2 past presidents who each are also fellows of ACEC and are joining us today, Bill Hoffman and Stu Monacle. Thank you. Now, please enjoy your lunch, and our program will resume promptly at 12:30. And enjoy the socializing. Thank you.
Over the last 13 years, she's been executive director. Little history, Marilyn joined the organization in November of 1990, so congrats on 31 years of service to the organization. Marilyn started as an executive secretary, then moved up to an administrative assistant, and finally got to the position of assistant executive director. Marilyn became the executive director in January of 2007 after Sandy Donald, our previous executive director, decided to retire. And I was fortunate to be president of ACEC Colorado at the time of the transition, which was very fun for me on it. I think Sandy did a good job in coaching and preparing Marilyn for this position of executive director, because Marilyn took the foundation that Sandy had laid out before her and continued to move the organization forward. In the last 13 years, Marilyn has done a great job in building this organization into what it is today. I want to give some highlights of what she's done, and be honest, this is just a small piece of what she's done over the years. She's helped increase the technology capacity of the organization, which has increased the organization's productivity and the response time and ability to address the issues and needs of the organization members. She's promoted and increased engagement of minorities and women on committees and in the leadership roles of the organization. She continues to increase the organization's political involvement and advocacy, and by doing this, she's been involved in taking positions and testifying on issues that affect not only the membership, but the profession in general. She was key in establishing the ACEC Colorado Scholarship and Educational Foundation with its educational strategy outreach to middle school and high school students. I think she's built a strong and experienced staff and an executive team that can take this organization to the next level after she retires here at the end of the year. So it's now my pleasure to present Marilyn with the 2021 Orley O. Phillips Award.
Thank you, Stu, for those kind words. And yes, it is quite fitting that you are here to present it to me, as you were my first president as executive director. So I want to thank the past presidents for this prestigious award. And it's been a pleasure working with all of you over these years. And I'm very mindful of the significance of the Orley Phillips Award. And I'm honored to be among its distinguished recipients. I just returned from the ACEC Fall Conference in San Marco Island, my last ACEC meeting. So, as mentioned, it was great getting back together and in Florida, being able to meet so many people that I've worked with at a national level. On the last day of the conference, I did get to walk the beach, and I had a chance to reflect on the great career that I've had, but would only have been possible with the support of my loving family. My daughter Lisa is here representing them, the wonderful staff that I'm working with and have worked with and been part of for so many years, and of course, all of you, the amazing members and industry partners. You never hesitated to help me along the way, and it was because of that that we could make a difference, and for that, I am very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you, Stu, and congratulations, Marilyn, on this well-deserved award. I can't tell you how much I've learned over the last 6 or 7 years from this lady, so she will be sorely missed. Please note that you can watch the video of Marilyn receiving her award on the ACEC Colorado's channel on YouTube. And I hope each of you will plan to attend Marilyn's retirement celebration on January 21st here at the Halcyon, in person, a real party. The ACEC Colorado Foundation has also established the Marilyn Reamer Advocacy and Public Policy Scholarship in further recognition of her work and contributions. All right, so the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's start the Design Award presentations. The ACEC Colorado Engineering Excellence Awards annually recognizes consulting engineering firms for projects that demonstrate an exceptional degree of innovation, complexity, achievement, and value. For several decades, Colorado consulting engineering firms have entered their most innovative projects and studies into this competition. As you will see today, our engineering community continues to push outcomes to the next level with solutions that will advance society for generations. This vital organization truly exemplifies stewardship at its best today and over the past 60 years. So our MC of ceremony today is Steve Art. Steve is the Economic Development Manager and Urban Renewal Executive Director for the City of Wheat Ridge, where he promotes intelligent growth for the community while promoting the values of Wheat Ridge. Steve works regionally with economic development professionals and has been part of boards of directors for the Economic Development Council of Colorado, Jefferson Economic Development Corporation, and Jefferson County Business Resource Center. Steve, we'd like to welcome you to the stage. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be back here for my 6th year. First off, we'll start with not Von Miller, really? All right, yeah, see, some of you heard the radio on the way over here. So I'm going to give you right now 30 seconds. Everyone pull out your cell phone, do that one last check, just to make sure you didn't get that important message. Halfway through the ceremony, your phone's going to go off. Allow you to do that, get that business taken care of, and then we'll start the ceremony. Yeah, see, everyone is dying to do that as my script goes flying apart. I don't need that page, thank you. All right, got that all taken care of? All right, let's get going. So 6 years I've been doing this, and I am truly every year amazed at our nominees and our winners and the projects that everyone's doing it throughout Colorado. And in fact, you all make me look really good because every year I'm able to look at my wife as we drive around and I say, see that great project over there? She says, yeah, and I said, I gave an award for that. So I get full credit for that. But to tell you the truth, it has been marvelous to work with this organization, and I am amazed by the things that we see. And working through local government with the city of Wheat Ridge on a daily basis, I see the engineering excellence going on, not only in Wheat Ridge, not only in Jefferson County, the Denver metro region, but throughout this entire state, and it is an honor to be with you today. And speaking of the day, it's where we come every year to honor and celebrate the successful collaborations represented by our Engineering Excellence Award projects. It's obvious that Colorado's engineering community believes in results that are the outcomes of idea sharing and commitment bringing these ideas to a successful fruition. As we do annually, Marilyn and I got smart. In front of you, for those of you that didn't drink the ACEC Signature Colorado Excellence Elixir, we'll let you do it with iced tea if you want this time. No alcohol in this, so don't worry about that for all of you out here. Every year we do this to the owners, so everyone will raise their glass. In fact, everyone stand up. Stretch your legs for a minute. Grab your mocktail, stand up. This is something new, Heidi. We're standing. It's okay this year? All right. Because for a whole year we didn't stand. We sat on our butts behind a Zoom call, so we're going to do it this year. So we are doing an Elixir mocktail to celebrate the engineers, member engineers, the owners of the projects they work on, the contractors and the architects on the teams they work with, and the passion for what they do. Let us give a special salute to the clients and firms that we're honoring this afternoon for their outstanding projects that are the pride and showpiece of their firms. We share their pride and congratulate them on the tremendous accomplishments that have made them the completion of these fantastic projects. And with that, to everyone, salute. Oh my, oh. That'll wake you up. This table over here is on their third salute. I think they did put something in that one over there. There you go. For every award, they're giving a salute for. The first award today we will present is the Outstanding Project Board. This award recognizes the great deal of talent and creativity that goes into preparing the project board of the award entry and is based on the judges' award, on the judges and the award committee recommendations. And they were all out in the lobby, so I saw a lot of you looking at all of those out there. And the 2022 Outstanding Project Board goes to Martin and Martin for the City Park. That must either be Martin or Martin over there. And that was done for the City Park Golf Course redesign. So I'm going to ask for a representative for that firm to come forward here to the stage. And as we announce you today, if you would all come up to this side of the stage and then exit on that side of the stage, because we're going to have photographs. As we exit, a staff member will meet you at that open door and you will get your photo taken. Congratulations. I wasn't the one that yelled, by the way. He was not the one that yelled. He wanted us to know. You could have, though. All right, now we're ready to begin the presentation for the merit, the honor, the excellence, and then finally the Grand Conceptor Awards. These entries are judged for overall engineering excellence based on work performed only by the entering engineering firm and according to the rating guidelines which are available on the ACEC Colorado website. Each project is judged and rated on its own merit, regardless of its category classification. The Grand Conceptor and Excellent recipients will be eligible to advance to the ACEC National Awards Competition in Washington, D.C. in the spring. Now, we're ready for the awards. So again, I'll invite the firms that are announced and their clients to come forward. If you would enter them to stage right, your right, and you'll exit on stage left. After you receive the award, a staff member right there will lead you out to have your official photograph taken with the project board. Now we begin with the 2022 Merit Award winners. Is that for me? Tell them I'm busy again, okay? The Merit Award recognizes projects for their extraordinary engineering solutions based upon the award criteria. Our first award will JUB Engineers come to the stage to receive your award for the 37th Street Connector on Monroe Avenue Roundabout.
The city had this on their capital improvement plan for years and years. The project is really to create a new connection. There was no roadway there before. So the connection basically connects 37th Street from US 287 to Monroe Avenue. There are two different utilities that we designed to cross over Dry Creek. We decided through the design process that we would hang these utilities underneath the bridge. The project really was a success all the way from the conceptual phase all the way through construction. A lot of these projects are successful when the whole team is engaged and everybody's collaborating and communicating. Really, communication was key on this project and what ultimately led to a very successful project. And everybody was very happy with the outcome.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Congratulations. That's JUB Engineers. Will OTEC come to the stage to receive your award for the A Campus Connection, the 19th Street Pedestrian Bridge at CU Boulder?
The university envisioned making a connection between the campus and the student housing area north of the campus and the greater community beyond there. We actually had a lot of fun laying out potential alignments. We took an aerial photograph and made a bridge kit of a series of little Lego toys that we connected and made it to scale so that we could easily play around with different alignments, and that helped us start organizing what our priorities should be. It's used a lot during day-to-day activities, and of course it links up to the Student Rec Center. We actually worked on the 23rd Street Bridge, which is just downstream, and applied certain lessons learned from that project with contractor input, and we're able to make the bridge sleeker and more constructible. It ended up beautifully.
It was at the end of its structural life, and it actually wasn't ADA compliant. So the city of Boulder was looking to replace it with something that was much more pleasant to use for the community and maintain that community local and regional connectivity for bicycles and pedestrians. What made it challenging was this particular alignment that we chose was the most technical from an engineering standpoint because it falls within the convergence of 3 floodplains. So it took a lot of collaborative design between the trail designers and the hydraulic designers and the structural designers to really work through an iterative process to develop an innovative design that really didn't affect any of the 3 floodplains. We created a much more comfortable facility, a welcoming environment for the pedestrians and bicycle users. And in addition to that, by making it ADA compliant, it really did create a facility that was accessible to all people. Overall, it's just received so much positive feedback.
Congratulations, HDR. Next, we have David Evans and Associates comes to the stage to receive your award for the High Line Canal Trail underpasses at Hampton Avenue and Colorado Boulevard. Spanning 4 counties and over 70 miles, the High Line Canal had a problem at the intersection of Hampton Avenue and Colorado Boulevard. Poor connectivity forced trail users to dodge heavy traffic while crossing the street. The solution was to underground. A precast culvert was created and the connection, while minimizing the time the 2 state highways needed to be shut down. The result is an aesthetic pleasing connection that will keep users safe for years to come. Next, will Burns and McDonnell Engineering Company come to the stage to receive your award for the Lynn R. Morgan Water Treatment Plant Expansion.
Erie has multiple source waters, and they're able to treat these pretty comfortably throughout the course of the year, but through the summer season, as irrigation demands kick up, a lot of outdoor water use, demand was really approaching the capacity of the plant. So being able to get the plant online within a couple of summers through design and construction was a really important factor for them. We were slated to start up in March of 2020, ahead of the 2020 peak water demand season. So March, we all know what happened in the middle of March last year. Borders shut down. In particular, where it affected us, some of the key startup technicians were coming in from the UK and they weren't able to enter the US. So there was a little bit of juggling around that startup, just to accommodate schedules. In my opinion, it was a very successful project. The town was very pleased with the end result, with that extra comfort level when you come to those peak summer days, that you have enough capacity and enough redundancy that they can comfortably meet their water demands.
Congratulations to Burns and McDonnell Engineering Company. Next, we have riverrestoration.org They're receiving an award for the Robinson Diversion Modification Project. Unfortunately, this firm could not be with us today, but we will ensure they do receive their award.
It was a navigation hazard in the river, just the way the rocks were placed to divert water made it a lot more difficult for boats to get through. And in addition, during lower flow periods, the diversion created hydraulics in the river that prevented resident fish from migrating from downstream to upstream. Honestly, a kind of a classic problem on these irrigation diversions that are found throughout the Western United States. We set about taking like a more natural approach. I mean, we needed to maintain river elevations that allow the water to flow via gravity into the ditch itself. But instead of just having that row of boulders, we developed that with a riffle that matched kind of the characteristics of the reach. A lot of folks can almost float through this reach now, and if they don't notice the concrete headgate off to the side, it's just like any other stretch of the Roaring Fork River through this section. The team, including River Restoration, was able to develop a project that met a lot of different goals. It wasn't just primarily focused on one purpose. I think the team worked well together, and we're very happy with the end product.
All right, thank you. Next, will Armstrong Consultants come to the stage to receive your award for the San Luis Valley Regional Airport Master Plan?
The airport hadn't had any planning done for it for about 10 years, and we needed to go in and evaluate the existing conditions at the airport and make some recommendations for the future. It's part of this master plan. The airport's currently transitioned as part of the master plan. They transitioned from the 9-seat airplane to a 50-seat airplane. We see the potential for that actually to change over the course of the next 10 or so years, 10 to 15 years, to a larger aircraft. And so, expanded facilities are something that we're always thinking about. The results of the final airport master plan are really, really exciting. The community is really excited. They've got a roadmap to the future identified for what the next 20 years are going to look like. And like I said, I feel like it's really going to give the leadership of the community a plan moving forward and really enhance the quality of life for the community over the next 20 years.
Thank you, Armstrong Consultants. Next up, we have Engineering Analytics, and we'd like to invite them to the stage to receive their award for the Sheridan Landslide Stabilization.
The city of Sheridan was looking for a design build landslide stabilization team to come in and fix this slope. It's a slope right below the junior high. So the city was looking to get it repaired more permanently because it's starting to kind of restrict flow to the creeks. So it was a lot of techniques and actually 5 iterations of design in order to get to one that checked all the boxes, right? That met factors of safety, met safety in general, and then also was constructible. Since it's right downtown Sheridan, it's a really cute downtown. This path that we ended up designing for them runs right along the creek there so that people can walk or bike and they can get between Kendrick Park and downtown Sheridan now. So it's a nice little area. And when we went to the ribbon cutting, there were quite a few people out there just kind of checking it out. And I think it's a really nice addition, I think, for the city of Sheridan. They were pretty excited about it.
Will Burns and McDonnell Engineering Company come to the stage right now to receive your award for the Thornton Water Treatment Plant Replacement?
The existing facility could only treat one of their multiple source waters because of some taste and odor concerns in one of their more challenging waters. So they wanted a new facility that could treat multiple source waters. There were a couple challenges associated with the design of this facility. The location being one, it was a very hilly, challenging site to work on with not a lot of extra space for construction to take place. But we were able to use the topography to our advantage from a design standpoint. We're able to flow completely through the facility just using gravity. There isn't any need for pumps in order to meet the forward flow capacity. So we're able to use the hilly site to our advantage and really produce an energy efficient facility. We had a very common goal in mind throughout the whole project, which really made it run as smoothly as possible. And I think we're all really happy with the finished product. They've been receiving fewer taste and odor complaints, which is always a good thing. And that just, I think, really speaks to how successful the project has gone.
Now we're extremely pleased to present our 2022 Honor Award winners. This Honor Award recognizes projects with outstanding engineering solutions based upon the award criteria. Will HDR come to the stage to receive your award for the Breckenridge North Water Plant?
Any type of improvement or increase in capacity somehow ties to growth down the road, but it really tied to the age of the infrastructure. Their existing treatment plant was seeing its age. So they knew, in addition to any growth that was going to happen, that they needed to do these upgrades on this facility, and they needed some other source of potable water. And that gives them a lot of flexibility. They have the unique situation that we have in Colorado sometimes in these mountain towns where the permanent population might only be 4,500 people, but in the winter when the snow flies, or in the summer when it's just a great summer day, the populations can go up to 50,000. We designed this to blend into the beautiful surroundings of Breckenridge. It was a momentous project that really builds on the future of Breckenridge and allows them to continue to do what they do. And without this water plant serving the community, the town would not be able to grow and flourish as it is.
Remember how awkward we all were when Zoom first started? Now we look like we're on the evening news in front of that. Looks fantastic. You're all doing a great job. Will Hewitt Zollers come to the stage to receive your award for the Broomfield Public Works Service Center expansion? I'm supposed to be reading during this. The Broomfield Public Works Service Center is keeping up with the population boom with this new 16.4 acre expansion of the Public Works Department. Faced with a shallow groundwater on the site, the design team came up with a creative solution to build a shallow trench around the entire perimeter, which directed groundwater to a nearby site basin. In the end, the solution worked and avoided costly foundation systems, which otherwise would have been added to the expense of the project and to the people of Broomfield, or Broomwood, wherever you live in this country. Congratulations. And I live right next to Broomwood too, so I can't believe I messed that one up. All right, next, will KNL and A engineers and builders come to the stage to receive your award for the Denver Botanic Garden Friar Newman Center.
It's a marriage of a lot of what the gardens is involved in with science, art, and education. The most iconic piece of the structure is really hard to miss. It's the tree columns. So those tree columns really are very unique in how they're designed and how they're fabricated and how they were erected and their relationships with other building systems. It was a really strong collaborative team, and it really needed to be. The building is pretty unique, as I said, and there's a lot of, they pay homage in a lot of ways to the rest of the gardens and a lot of the over centuries-year-old architecture and art within the gardens. And there's portions of this project that really speak to that history, tying in the science, the art, and the education so seamlessly in such a unique structure, and having all of those portions of the design aesthetic tying into the rest of the gardens and paying respect to all that history. It's I think a fantastic addition to the Denver community and to Denver's collection of world-class museums.
All right, see, honey, I awarded them an award left. Okay, I'm practicing for this next time I'm at the gardens. Will Armstrong Consultants come to the stage to receive your award for McElroy Field Runway 927 rehabilitation?
The pavement surface was right at 20 years old, which in the world of asphalt pavement was about 10 years overdue for being overlaid. But the FAA has some pretty particular smoothness and grade and longitudinal grade criteria that all have to be met on a timeline with a low bid, building a product that's basically rocks and sand and oil mixed together and rolled flat. This was late in the summer, fall of 2020, and there was a lot of fires going on up in Grand County, the largest in the state history, if I remember right at the time. And even though the runway was closed, the airport was still a base for a lot of firefighting operations with helicopters. So there was just a lot going on at what was supposed to be a closed airport. There's a special place in my heart for this one at Kremling, because when I started at Armstrong way back in 2000, that first layer of pavement, that was my first job. So to see it rebuilt and be a part of the design team and stamp the plans and have a hand in the construction inspection was pretty rewarding.
Congratulations. Will ME engineers come to the stage now to receive your award for McGregor Square?
It's a city on a city block. So we took a parking lot and turned it into an entire city block, an entire city right there. Probably missing a grocery store, that's about it. But that was really the challenge, is that within this one block, you have 5 very distinct projects. So when we looked at the project, it's how do we take this amazing program, and there's so much program, and how do we make that all work and function? And that's where we're really proud of as a firm. But that really is the biggest challenge we had, is trying to do 500 pounds worth of stuff in this little box. How do we make all this work together? I don't think I've ever had a project I can walk by and smile and just play show and tell. I've had some, hey, it's a nice building, check it, whatever. This is one I said, I was able to go through and like play show and tell. It was so much fun. And there are so many things you don't see. I mean, the most technical stuff and the most advanced for things, you'll never know whether it's, and I feel like this is one of those where our engineering firm and all my colleagues did an amazing job of seeing that through and pulling it together. Again, it's really, really complex programming, and that's what I think was really amazing about this job, and I'm very, very proud of.
And if you haven't enjoyed watching a ball game on that giant screen down there, you're certainly missing something. Will ME engineers come to the stage to oh, I just did this one. Never mind, I forgot. Thank you, Marilyn. Well, you get 2 awards for that, so yeah. Will CTL Thompson and Pinion Environmental come to the stage to receive your award for Pikes Peak Heights?
We knew that the site had been used in the late 1980s, early 1990s for the disposal of concrete debris. And the intent was to relocate that debris to the perimeter of the site and dedicate that relocated debris as an open space for the city of Colorado Springs. You can imagine this is almost like a mining operation where you have very, very large equipment on site removing the concrete.
There had to be 100% oversight of all that debris and soil that was being removed from the original location to the new debris location. So 100% of the time when they were moving debris, that debris was being looked at by the truckload to see if there was any staining from oil, any asbestos, suspect asbestos containing materials. So if you can imagine the enormity of that task of moving 1 million cubic yards of debris from one place to the other. If you would have asked at the very end of the project if it was all worth it, Pikes Peak Heights may have said no, but they've really helped the community create a sustainable new neighborhood and created 194 units for workforce housing, which is really needed in Colorado Springs. So in hindsight, yes, it was worth it.
Trying to say there may be citizens out there somewhere that say no to some things? I can't believe it. Will Martin and Martin come to the stage to receive your award for the Red Rocks Amphitheater stage roof replacement?
The existing roof that was constructed in 1988 had extended beyond its service life. Every year, shows get bigger and more complex, heavier, and we have seen a definite trend over the years to increase show rigging capacity requirements. Total original rigging capacity is 38,000 pounds. And if there was snow on the roof, some of that would take up some of the 38,000 pound capacity. Our new capacity is 150,000 pounds plus snow. The roof kind of has a heavy, hard steel edge, but then the underside of the roof is wood, and the warmth from the wood complements, I think, the natural surroundings of Red Rocks. To me, a kind of a once in a lifetime type of project, and I think that to be involved with an iconic venue like this, and I've been telling all my friends and family I participated in that and I worked on that. It's hugely exciting to me to work on this venue and to have people come and see it on a regular basis.
Congratulations. But you can't tell my wife that you worked on the project because, again, I take credit for it. Will HDR come to the stage now to receive your award for the Siphon 1 aerial replacement?
Denver Water had been noticing in recent years that the aerial portion of the pipeline was showing signs of distress. After making a couple of attempts of improvements, they decided that they weren't helping the pipeline and needed to replace the pipeline itself, which was approaching 100 years old anyway, so it's reaching the end of its service life. Replacing an aerial pipeline is not a typical installation or replacement, at least not for pipelines. For the most part, pipelines are buried and all your work is on the ground or under the ground. In this case, as the name implies, it was an aerial pipeline spanning over the Fraser River. So all the work, or most of the work anyway, was up in the air. The project, it turned out very well. We've now extended the life of this piece of infrastructure another 100 years. And improvements to Denver Water, this again extends the life of this particular part of their system for another 100 years. So great improvement and benefit to them.
Next up, we're going to invite American Company to come to the stage to receive their award for the Watering Down Field Survey Risk with Remote Sensing.
Currently, their field crews work off of paper copies of where their valves are, their water lines, etc. And it's just a really big old data set. So the city was attempting to digitize this information in a way that their teams could use tablets equipped with GPS in the field to locate valves and pipes, etc. We proposed a remote sensing method where, using geospatial data capture, we were able to capture data in the field and then extract locations of these water lines, valves, manhole covers in the office. This allowed us to reduce field impact by 90% for traffic control and for people in the field. I think overall the process was great. We were able to increase the data set by 35% over our contract. Just having more information within the city is going to help keep water systems updated. It's going to help expansion of the city as it continues to grow. So I think start to finish, it was just a win for everyone.
Congratulations to all our 2022 Honor Award winners. Now it's my privilege to present our next category, the 2022 Excellence Award winners. The Excellence Award recognizes projects for innovative engineering solutions based upon the criteria, and recipients are eligible in this category to advance to the ACEC National EEA competition in Washington, D.C. that'll be held this spring. Will Felsberg, Holt, and Ulevig come to the stage to receive your award for the 39th Avenue Greenway?
This neighborhood was really starved for connectivity to the nearby light rail stations. And this project opened up that connectivity not only through the trail that is along the Greenway, but also north-south connectivity to the various neighborhoods between Cole and Clayton. So really revitalized what was an abandoned railroad spur, is now an open space greenway for the community. Although there's a lot of hidden engineering in the pipe system and the open channel drainage, what the community really received was a new open space greenway, amenities, a shared street, bike lanes, and connectivity to the light rail station. So it was really transformational to the community with engineering hidden underneath. It's been a great success, and I've really leaned on the feedback from the leadership at Denver and the community as far as how it's gone, and it's been incredibly positive. The community was involved very early on, and to see it come to fruition, I think, has really changed their neighborhood, improved safety for them, improved connectivity, and has been a really great resource, not only for the directly adjacent neighbors, but also the broader neighborhood has seen a real benefit to the vitality of their community.
Next, would Muller Engineering Company come to the stage to receive your award for Chatfield Storage Reallocation Project?
There's an additional 12 feet of water in the reservoir that can be used for water supplies. And so this project just allows more of that flood control storage to be repurposed for water supply storage. Our part of the project, Muller's part of the project, was to assist with the environmental mitigation to mitigate for habitat that would be lost with that raised pool. By the time we started final design in 2016, the channel had moved upstream about a little over 2,000 feet. It had eroded down 8 to 10 feet. But with that lowered water table, that became a real problem for the mitigation concept. And ultimately, what we did with the stream restoration is we lifted the channel back up to restore that groundwater table. It was a challenge for the whole project team, but it ended up being a
a better, a more innovative and integrative solution and a more sustainable solution for the project. We're happy, but more importantly, the water providers, the parks, the Corps of Engineers are really happy with the project. Things are looking good and trending in the right direction for a really healthy ecosystem and a healthy riparian habitat out there.
Will Martin and Martin come to the stage to receive your award for the City Park Golf Course redesign?
It was a stormwater-driven project, actually, a complete redesign of the existing 18-hole golf course, with the driving factor being flood control in the westerly portion of the golf course. It was a complete reconfiguration of all 18 holes, so it was pretty much start from scratch. It's not something I've ever done, and I think it is very unique, especially for a kind of a civic purpose being flood control and water quality kind of being that driving factor behind. There were a lot of hurdles to get through, and a lot of lessons learned, but in the end, I think we were able to meet all the technical requirements and make it a successful project. And I think the public is shown that they're very happy with it.
Will HCDA Engineering and CTL Thompson come to the stage to receive your award for the Pikes Peak Summit Complex?
We built a new building to the south of the original building, which was actually condemned in 1983, I believe. So every year they installed 70 some temporary supports underneath that floor slab, and every year it had to be evaluated in the spring by a structural engineer.
At 14,115 feet, this is the highest publicly accessible building in the United States. The logistics of getting the materials up there around the corners of these switchbacks was a real challenge for the contractor. And in some cases, I understood they had to pick up the back of the truck and swing it around some of the hairpin curves. This was a once-in-a-lifetime project. There's not many geotechnical engineers that have had to face the challenges that we had to face on this particular one. We were even peer reviewed by some people in Alaska and I believe Greenland, and they told me that this was unique to even what they've ever had to fight.
The whole building it's pretty magical. I didn't have gray hair when I started this project, for the record.
Will Burns and McDonald Engineering Company come to the stage to receive your award for the Plum Creek Water Purification Facility Advanced Treatment?
Most of the water in Castle Rock was all groundwater, and part of this project was to develop a new raw water supply and treatment system that met demands using new renewable sources. So this project is extremely unique because the town of Castle Rock will be the first municipality within the Denver metro area in Colorado to implement direct potable reuse from their water reclamation facility. So we're taking water directly from the water reclamation facility, bringing that to the water treatment facility, treating it very extensively with multiple different systems, and then sending it back out to customers. The final project that was completed by the town of Castle Rock, Garney Construction, and Burns McDonald turned out very well. I mean, it meets all of the goals that the town put forth in water quality. And and meeting budget and meeting schedule. So it was a very successful project.
Please join me with a round of applause for this year's Excellence Award winners. All right, finally, it's my honor to present the prestigious Grand Conceptor Award. This award is presented annually to the project that receives the highest point percentages by our judges for an outstanding project excellence. Should we get a drum roll? Thank you, thank you, thank you. This year, we are honored to present the award to HDR for the Wyoming Capitol Square project completed for the Wyoming State Construction Department, Construction Management Division. Will the representatives from the firm please join me on the podium?
Building itself, the Capitol building, was approximately 125 years old when we began this project. We were looking at what we could do to restore the project to its original condition and essentially enhance the appearance of the building. When we speak about installing fire sprinkler systems, when we speak of accommodating accessibility, those elements needed to be integrated into the fabric of the building. I think everyone is very pleased with the result. This renovation provides the people of Wyoming a renovated Capitol that will last them for an additional 50 plus years. That's why this project was important to us. We knew and we understood from the beginning that this was the people's house for the state of Wyoming. And that is what drove us to do the best that we could with this project.
Don't leave us. If you'd like to say a few words to our audience.
So I will say this is one of those once-in-a-lifetime projects, and it was a tremendous opportunity to be able to work with the folks in the state of Wyoming on this project. And there are a lot of great projects here, so we're very, very honored that we were selected for this Grand Scepter Award. Thank you very much.
Again, later this week, the individual videos that you saw up on the screen of the award-winning projects will be accessible from the ACEC Colorado YouTube channel, along with a video of Marilyn receiving the Orly O. Phillips Award. And also a complete recording of today's event will be available on the ACEC Colorado on-demand online store. So get your copies early. The awards will be showcased in the coming months by our media partner, Colorado Real Estate Journal, as well as Colorado Public Works Journal and Colorado Construction Design Magazine. Again, I want to thank you all for being with me today, but before we conclude our time together, I want to turn the podium back over to Carlene Thomas, our past president, for a special announcement. Arlene, it's all yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're a hard act to follow, Steve, so I got to brush up on my stand-up comedy. Congratulations to everybody and on your awards. What a great showing for engineers everywhere. Thank you. In closing, I just wanted to take the opportunity to announce that the ACEC Colorado Scholarship and Education Foundation, which I'm also on the board of, is honored this year to be listed charity for the first time with Colorado Gives Days, which is on December 7th. I know it's hard to believe that December's coming, but it's coming up fast. As you may know, today is the first day you can start scheduling donations to support the charity of your choice on Colorado Gives Day. I encourage you to learn more about how you can impact the future of consulting engineering by supporting the foundation, including by watching this short video.
The reason you should donate to ACEC Colorado's foundation is because it supports other amazing organizations throughout the Denver area. Specifically, the one that impacted my life was ACE Mentor Program, which led me to become an engineer.
So I first became interested in engineering because I had a programming class in high school. And I'm not sure I should say this out loud because it'll date me, but it was on those old Apple IIe computers. And it was the first computer I ever saw. And so that's what's really got me interested. I wasn't sure about engineering at that point, but got me interested in computers. And then in college, I went into computer science, and I had the dean of the department ask me if I thought I was in the right place. And at first I was offended, but then he said, because you're too social. And so I went into engineering after that and never looked back.
That I wanted to be in the construction industry when I was really young. I started working construction when I was in junior high, and realized that I really liked the way things went together. And being an engineer is a natural way to do that. I work in the vertical field, so I build buildings. And one of the things that really attracted me to engineering was that you hear a lot of people they just have a lot of redundancy in their job and they don't really enjoy going to work. One of the coolest things that I get to do is I can drive around in the state of Colorado, in my hometown or Denver or all over the state, and I can see buildings that I've designed that have been built. So I get to see my work all the time, and that's very fulfilling. Foundation is when we give the scholarships and you get to see their face when they know that they have received the scholarship. That is one of the best parts.
The greatest impact the scholarship had on my life was my ability to focus on school without having financial stress during my time in college.
You should donate to ACEC Colorado's foundation because we need your support to further the education of the next generation and to make them and the rest of the public aware of how critical engineers are in today's society. Thank you for allowing us to make this shameless plug. To contribute to ACEC Colorado Foundation for Colorado Gives Days. Informational cards are on each of your tables, and you're welcome to take them or snap as a photo as a reminder. Put it in your calendar so you don't forget. Again, we truly appreciate your time in being here today, and at this point we are adjourned. Thank you very much. Have a great travels.